And here's another stream sketch of a longtime client. And um, so they wanted those two characters to see, and it was semi feedback rain, I believe. And so I think those two characters, they're just friends. And for some reason, I just wanted one kind of crawling over the other. I didn't want them kissing. I know that it wasn't like a romantic thing, or it could be, but the thought was um, the long haired guy's just getting up in uh, oh boy's face because he maybe said some slick shit, or he was trying to get away with something, like say they're playing a game or something, and he was trying to get away with cheating or something. So he's like, whatever. But the other guy is like getting in his face about it, overreacting over something so petty. And so I was thinking, oh boy, uh, the goatee. I mean, yeah, the one who's being cursed out. He's just like whatever. And I think I made his expression look like he's agitated, but I think in my mind, in my head canon of the situation, in his mind, he's amused by it. But he knows if he was to laugh, it would just piss the longer haired guy off. And maybe in a scene after this, like a second later, then he starts smiling. And so that just get him pissed off even more. And there's like so many different stories. I think one could. I like, sometimes I do like illustrations where um like the whole situation is so open, you could like come up with all these stories behind it. And that's with um most illustrations anyway. But it's fun to just come up with the backstory with it. And sometimes I have multiples. I just know the general feeling that I wanted to portray, and I don't really have a particular story in mind for the most part with these quick sketch commissions. So it's just like I want it to look as if this one is mad at this one, or want it to look intense, like a certain kind. And it's like if I'm able to achieve that, then the sketch is successful. And whatever story you or the viewer or the client or even I make is becomes just that person's head canon of the situation. So there's no set story. But with the anatomy wise, yeah, uh, I'm thinking I don't like the chest anymore. I just saw it recently, like yesterday, and I mean, I just looked over this piece yesterday in preparing for the video, and I was like, I don't like the below the rib cage, that area. I think it's wrong, and it looks too. See how wrong that was? It's like if it wasn't a sketch, I would have definitely fixed it. See the guy crawling over him. It looks more correct, but it's still, I think, okay right there. So I think it's still a bit off, but it feels more correct than the hips of the guy he's cursing out. And but I only have so much time, and so I can't remember if I did this too late. Because sometimes if I'm working on a piece and it's after I've spent the whole day working, then I do get tired, but I I like forgive myself with certain things. Uh, yeah, I tried to make it indistinguishable, like the quality wise, indistinguishable from like earlier pieces. So if I'm able to, but still in my head, I like know I'm more loose or I'm like more flexible the later it gets. Despite like trying to uncondition myself to have the quality be consistent no matter what the time and no matter how tired I am. So sometimes I think a, a majority of the time it works. It feels like so, but every so often I do slip. Not this time. Um, I don't think, except for that part. See, it still looks weird. I think that line. It's that line right there that's bothering me. Oh, and it's too straight. It feels like that dip is too soon. Like it should be. I might. I think it should be lower. It's like too much. So it's funny. Like once you, I don't ever want to be perfect with anatomy. There's no such thing as perfect anatomy. It's just does it look right? And so that's the goal with every piece. It's like does it look right? Like does it look possible? Like it looks correct? And so most of it is okay, but uh, sometimes with the sketches, there's always like something that's off. Sometimes it like looks fine. Like even if I was to go back and finalize it, like pro lines, like cleaner lines, I'm like, oh, I could keep most of it, and I love those when that happens. And with this character, so they have tattoo, right? And thankfully the client gives me the freedom to just make up the design. And I swear it's always different. But I'm glad they allow that because these are the type of designs I hope to be. I hope people come into my tattoo boutique to get because they're so fun, and I love that the aim with them is to work with the body shape. It's like to go not just be plastered on the skin, but to just work with the body form. And so that's why I like that one. I hope I get to tattoo that someday, maybe, hopefully.